在任何年级或者有任何需要 ，Carlo 都可以满足到你。WOWtv 奥夫眼镜 at Times Square 停车场外。
各位女士们请注意，又有好消息！各款名牌女装皮鞋及手袋在10月7日至10月11日感恩节长周末假期期间，星期4到星期1全部以最低价出售。超过2万对名师设计的名牌皮鞋，由最小码的5号起，尺码齐全，样本大倾销，更有过千款手袋供你挑选。快点约上亲朋好友到 Markham Fair 广10801 McCover Road 啦，包你有滿意的收穫。
2010潮爆娛樂，不論大小，最精最新。2010要八得起，就要切記收睇八盡娛樂。
但是在
靚唔靚咧？講開鐘錶咧，我真係鐘錶嘅愛好者。係而呢一個品牌，轉頭先話俾你聽係乜嘢嘅品牌？喺香港咧已經係十分之流行嘅，甚至乎我哋嘅名人呢個張智霖咧都十分之愛好呢一種手錶。當然啦，咁老公有老婆一定要有㗎啦。
好少見到呢啲咁大嘅錶面。
而家係比較興呢啲大啲嘅錶面啦。咁我哋講緊嘅咧就係叫 Ernst Benz 呢一個牌子嘅。咁所以我哋今日咧就請嚟佢哋嘅負責人啦，就係呢個 managing 同埋 creative director 嚟㗎。咁佢個名咧就叫 Leonid Khankin 㗎。
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Khankin. How are you?
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you for lending me your watch because it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes, just lending, Ronnie. So, Leonid, I want to ask you now. I'm sure people in Canada are probably not too familiar with Ernst Benz yet. So, do you mind if you tell us more about EB? Obviously, in short, that's what we talk about. And what makes it so special, and more specifically, what is about EB that speaks to you personally?
Absolutely. We actually are new to Canada, although the company is nearly 50 years old. So we're now visiting Canada as we are launching here. We'll now be available downtown at Holt Renfrew, as well as at Laurel Jewelers, a beautiful independent jeweler here in town. The founder of the company, Mr. Benz, was a brilliant engineer, inventor, and pilot. And he had formed the company in the early 60s, really known for aircraft instrumentation. This is actually the chronoflight instrument gauge. And for the first 20 years or so, we were primarily involved in the manufacturing of these type of instruments. But out of the passion of this type of genre, he was really in love with the style of classic old pilot watch, the type that was developed in the 40s when pilots would take pocket watches and convert them to wristwatches by welding lugs on them and wearing the belt.
So they're much larger.
Much larger for legibility. And larger watches are more durable and very important in the cockpit. But watches like this were really not being produced for nearly 20, 30 years. And when he started to do this in the early 80s, it was really the renaissance of the watch industry. It was a very exciting time as many of the companies started to rebuild after the crisis of the battery era. And this was really well accepted. And at first he just made a few watches for himself, and it started to take off and became quite known as a cult watch between aviators and yachtsmen and race car drivers in Switzerland and in Europe. And as they started to produce the collection, the first original watch was like this.
That's from the first collection?
The first collection. It was called Chronoscope.
Chronoscope. Okay.
It's really what we refer to as a chronograph.
Okay.
But Mr. Benz never liked the term chronograph as it comes from the Latin time writer.
Right.
And he thought how horribly inaccurate for an instrument company. We don't write with the watch, we read it, thus chronoscope.
Oh, okay.
And so for some 15 years, this was the basic production of the company. This single model, as well as a simple version that he developed called the Chronosport.
Okay. So it looks sportier.
It's just simple without the chronograph.
Okay.
So for a little bit easier for legibility. Myself, I'm a second-generation watchmaker. I was born in St. Petersburg, and when I was born, my father was the youngest man to ever work for a shop that many years before him was the watchmaker to the Tsar.
Okay.
Most likely one of the most prolific and talented watchmakers of his generation. We left from Russia to Italy and then moved to the States, and I grew up alongside my father doing restoration. And specifically this style of watch. The great era of chronographs and the wrist timers of the 40s and 50s and complications in chronographs. So when I had become familiar with the company, a close friend of mine was overlooking production, and we worked together to develop the most complicated watch, the Chrono Lunar.
So this was designed by you?
This is a very specific type of design from the 40s, but what we did was we implemented into Ernst Benz, which really became this idea of the fusion between the spirit of aviation instruments and the art of watchmaking.
Okay.
Watches really grow in parallel as aviation developed, because really it had a lot to do with the history of wristwatches and how they became developed in that era, more for utilitarian purposes. But after the war and during the 50s, they became more refined and more elegant. And it really spawned the great era of wristwatches. So from this model, it was so well received that we began to all work together. And after a few years we developed nearly 15 models together. So for the first 15 years, there was only the two basic.
Okay.
And after just a couple of years, we produced a lot of models.
15 more.
And it was very exciting. So what they'd ask is they'd ask for me to take the helm of the company.
Okay.
So in early 2005, I became managing creative director of Ernst Benz.
Okay.
For a second generation.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's really the dream of every watchmaker to be able to produce the watch.
Okay.
Like a kid who grows up in a garage fixing cars with your dad, your dream is to build cars.
Of course.
So it was always our dream to build watches, and the privilege to look after this iconic company and to be the custodian of his legacy the way that he asked, it was something very humbling. So what we really developed is this collection to tell the story of us as watchmakers, these complicated watches that look like the style of classic vintage watch.
Definitely.
As well as a contemporary series of watches that we build to tell the story of his life. Watches that have hands of the propeller, the design of instrumentation that he had built, utilized into the design of the watch, like this new series that we just did.
So there's lots of history and legacy behind
nearly 50
basically
years.
The Ernst Benz.
Yes, nearly 50 years, as well as really the history of watches themselves.
Okay.
Because we have this story, we have his life, and then really the history of watches. Whereas watchmakers, we have many stories to tell. This instrument series that we did, this is black steel. It's a PVD, physical vapor deposition.
Okay.
It's meant to look exactly like the instrument gauge.
Right, and this was developed in the early 60s.
In the 60s.
Right.
So now we are actually building watches that look exactly like the gauge to tell the story of the company.
Now, and on the screen, we see Hong Kong artists wearing your watches as well. 我哋睇到而家就係頭先講嘅張智霖啦，佢都戴緊。係啊，成龍大哥又會戴佢哋嘅錶啦，因為咧佢哋嘅錶咧實在好多 history 喺入邊嘅噃。不如同我哋講下 Ronnie。
講翻頭先啦，Mr. Leon 咧佢就提過啦，就係咧佢喺50年咁耐嘅喎呢個。
係啊，呢個鐘錶有50年咁耐。
咁當中咧，Mr. Benz 就係發明呢一個嘅錶啦，咁啊為咗呢一啲嘅機師咧就去做呢一個錶嘅。
因為佢自己都係一個機師啊。
咁機師嘅錶面咧比較大啲，方便佢比較睇嘅。咁然之後睇到呢一個咧，頭先佢show 咗出嚟嘅就係呢一個錶面啦，我又可以睇翻呢個錶面啦。呢一個錶面咧喺60年代咧第一個咧發明嘅錶面嚟嘅，咁就係咁大嚿嘅。咁而家一路咁慢慢咁落去咧，頭先每一隻 show 出嚟就係唔同年代嘅錶啦，譬如有 Chrono 嘅 Sports 啦，亦都有嚟到而家啦2000年啦。
Black Steel
呢個黑鋼嘅錶咧，就想復 估翻啊，做翻呢個同佢差唔多型號嘅、差唔多款式嘅錶出嚟嘅，因為而家都好興復刻嘅嘢啊嘛。
係啊。
咁所以咧呢一個錶咧就非常之靚同埋獨特嘅，就專係以前啊專為一啲 pilot 啦，而家咧就俾我哋一啲普通市民啊或者係明星咧都會揀呢隻錶去戴嘅。
嗱，咁我知道咧，因為今日時間有限啦，我諗我哋最後一個問題就係問下啦，Mr. Khankin 啊，究竟喺邊度可以買到呢啲鐘錶啦？
好啊。
So I mean, because of time, the final question I'm going to ask you is, where can viewers get your watches?
Here in town at Laurel Jewelers.
Laurel Jewelers.
Laurel Jewelers, as well as in Holt Renfrew on Bloor Street.
Okay.
And really, the most important thing about Ernst Benz, our collection, mechanical. Because all of our watches are always open in the back. This is really the art of Swiss watchmaking.
可以俾大家睇睇下瑞士嘅鐘錶啊嚇，大家會睇到啦，佢完全係 open 㗎後邊嚇，可以睇到佢入邊 mechanic 入邊嘅鐘錶嗰個 function 究竟係點㗎，可以俾大家睇睇下。喺時間節目完之前，
哇！真係好犀利。
哇！真係好靚。
即係你又睇到佢點喐，又睇到個錶面幾靚。
Range? Can you give us a price range?
Canadian, approximately between 2,500 to about 25,000 for our collection.
OK， 即係佢哋嘅 collection 咧，大概係由2500蚊啦，去到2萬零蚊咧都會有㗎嚇。咁如果中意鐘錶嘅你咧，就一定啦要去啦，留意下呢一個品牌啦。
仲可以去到佢哋嘅網址睇到喎，大家見到啦，熒光幕咧就會睇到佢哋嘅網址啦。
係啦 ，ernstbenz.com 㗎嚇。咁我哋今日咧就好多謝啦佢哋上嚟咧同我哋分享啦，希望下次咧佢會帶多啲鐘錶上嚟咧，再俾我哋睇下同埋講下佢哋公司嘅歷史㗎。Thank you so much, Mr. Khankin.
Thank you. Thank you.
虔誠敬拜，安靜禱告，聆聽主話。逢星期日早上9點至10點，城北華人基督教會陳心儀牧師主講。
今朝早歡喜能夠喺呢處同各位一齊嘅敬拜，又喺呢處能夠。